And this is Rebecca with Red True Crime. So if this is your first time watching, welcome. And a little bit about the channel itself. So I started this channel this year to bring awareness and some hope to families that have lost loved ones or people are missing, that normally wouldn't get covered. And I will say this. I want to be more than just about true crime. I mean, there are some things I am interested in. And, trying to bring light to the injustices of the world would also be a highlight. So, let me say this. I was listening to Redacted, and it's a YouTube channel. It's a couple. They do a lot of financial, they talk a lot of political, type stuff. And the wife was talking about something that was not surprising. Person I was with was shocked and was looking at me like, "You know about this?" I'm like, "Yeah, none of this surprises me because of what I do and because of what I pay attention to. These are the facts that just pop in my head, or stay in my head." So they were talking about the influx of illegal immigrants into the country, especially coming out of Mexico, Latin America, and whatnot. And they were showing statistics about all the undocumented children that are unaccompanied. They're coming into the country without their parents. And it was shocking about how many of these kids are missing, and there is no paper trails to where any of them went. Absolutely insane. And that apparently ICE can't do anything about it. Can't do anything about it, and that is crazy. I mean, they can break down a door to get somebody out that's illegal, but when minor children that are not naturalized citizens to this country come in and they just hand them off to whoever to say that that's their sponsor, and these kids are being abused in multiple ways, they're like, "Oh, there's nothing we can do. We have nothing we can do about this." How much sense does that make? Seriously. Um, Immigration has always been a hot topic in general, and I try not to get too political, but I just like to remind people that this country was founded by immigrants, and people who were sent here from England that were criminals, so to speak. So keep that in mind. Yes, we have a lot of undocumented people in this country, and yes, it's wearing down on our resources. And but then you look at the Statue of Liberty, or you look at what people say, like, "Remy, you're tired, you're sick, you're poor, you're hungry." There has to be some type of happy medium for all of this. And then, you've got kids that are coming across the border illegally with parents or without, and they're being locked up in cages, you know, in detention centers. Or now they're being handed off to people who claim to be taking care of them, and no one knows what happens to these kids. I mean, they're being trafficked in multiple ways, whether it's sexually, whether it's been slavery. You know, there has to be better oversight for this, because these kids are going from one bad situation to another bad situation, and their families have no idea where they are. And there has to be more that can be done about this. There has to be. I'm a mother. I would not be able to sleep. I wouldn't be able to sleep if one of my kids went missing. And from what I understand, people are going into these countries, promising these parents, oh, give us your kid, and we'll pay them more money and they'll send that money back to you because they'll make more money in the States. It's enticing because these people are living in vast poverty. So I get why they're not asking too many questions, but it's insane because you've got to ask questions. But yeah, questions have to be asked. They have to be. Because you can't just turn your kid loose into a country and say, good luck, send me money when you get a chance. It doesn't work like that. You know, like I said, we've got so many undocumented people in this country that there has to be more oversight. I mean, I understand why they're leaving the old countries. I get it. They're not happy, they're impoverished. I mean, there is vastly more opportunity here than there is in other places. So I understand the appeal. I just wish we had an easier way of dealing with it, a better way of dealing with it. And I don't know. What do you guys think about this? Do you think that we're handling this situation okay? I mean, these kids are just being turned loose to whoever, and we don't know what happened to them. I mean, there has to be a better way, right? I mean, does anybody? Am I wrong for thinking about any of this? I mean, comments, anything? Because I could drone on for another 20 minutes if necessary. Bueller, Bueller. But no, this really is a problem because you've got sex trafficking rings with especially involving children all over the place in this country, and it would not. This would be their boon to get undocumented children where there is no oversight. This would just completely take this to the next level. I mean, social services is hard pressed to even investigate their own domestic cases here. You've got kids ended up being dead or missing, and no one even knows for years that they're missing. So there's a lot of improvement needs to be done on both sides, with Homeland Security, with social services, with Border Patrol. I mean, all of it. All of it needs to be looked at. I mean, I can't. I just heard of a case the other day that Harmony Montgomery, somebody who was given, the mother was taken away from the mother, given to the father, and the father beat the child to death. And social services didn't know the kid was even missing for like 2 years. Nobody saw this kid for 2 years, and nobody asked any questions. And that is happening more and more often, and then it should not be happening at all. I just got reminded of a case from my old hometown in Cincinnati. Marcus Feisel, 3-year-old, who was taken away from his mother, given to a foster family. And the foster family had a little bit of a weird love triangle going on where a couple brought in another woman to be a throuple. And Marcus was autistic. And they had a family reunion to go to. Instead of taking the child with them, they took the dog, but they left the kid and locked up in a closet. And when they came back 2 days later, he was dead. And there was no oversight on that. None. Nobody checked on that kid. So we as a people have to do better. We as a society have to do better. Children are not disposable. People are not disposable. They're not. Everybody has a purpose. Everybody has a mind, has a soul, has an energy that we need to cultivate what's going on out there. And it's sad. It's just really sad. Because when I hear about children getting hurt or disappearing or being murdered, it bothers me a great deal. It really does. But I would love anybody's comments on this. Do you think social services is doing their job? Do you think Border Patrol is doing their job? Do you think we could have better oversight um, with immigration? I mean, what are your thoughts on this, anybody? I'll be glad to dialogue about this. But no, I mean, I worry about this sometimes. Like, my kids are grown, but there are times I wonder, you know, am I doing enough? So, but I got on here tonight to talk about the undocumented children that are missing, that no one knows where they are. There are no files, there are no records, there's nothing. It's like 70,000 kids that are just lost out there in the world that were given to adults, and nobody asked any questions. And now they're missing. So does anybody have any thoughts on that? Yeah, I heard about this earlier today, and it was crazy. They put the numbers up. I know we had fewer people getting over the border in 2020, and some were saying that was because of Trump's wall, or Trump himself, or the pandemic, because he shut the borders down. I don't know. But then between 2019 and 2023, the numbers more than doubled, which is crazy. How many kids and how many undocumented children came into this country? Comments, questions, anything? I can talk about something else if this is not catching your attention. I mean, my area of expertise is true crime. It is what I do. Actually, my day job, I'm a historical document preservationist. That's my day job. I restore old paperwork, old documents, birth certificates, military records, all that fun stuff. So that's what I do during the day. These are the glasses I wear when I do it. Yes, I look very appealing. But yeah, I mean, I am just full of energy and sass tonight. So, like I said, I'd be glad to talk to anybody who wants to comment. Sorry, I have somebody messaging me at the same time while I'm doing this. Ah, that ding you just heard. I was recording a video earlier that's going into my deep dive on Marissa Carmichael. Now, that's a case that I have talked on about endlessly. So, this was the deep dive with the evidence that I have accumulated in my theories. I have lots of theories. I have theories on everything. Ask me about the Kennedy assassination. I'll give you a theory on that too. Darn tootin', I will. So, I do a lot of stuff. But to go back to what I was talking about, though, with the undocumented children that are missing in this country, we've got to do better. Those kids don't know anybody, they don't even know the language. And they're depending on the help from strangers, and they get put with the wrong people. That's bad. That's really bad. So, that's something we got to do better on. Social services as a whole needs to do a hell of a lot better across the board with everybody. It's a mess. It really is. And I cannot even imagine the drama these people are dealing with parents and kids and systems and all of that. Well, it doesn't seem like I'm getting too much traction tonight. So I've been on about 15 minutes and I've had 4 comments. 2 I don't even speak the language for. So, you know. And 24K Dominic, your dad has the same backdrop. Okay, yep. Love Amazon. And the same microphone. Yes, also Amazon. So thank you for that. But I guess I'm gonna hop off here since I'm not getting too much interest tonight. I guess it's kind of late. It's almost it's after 12:30 my time. So again, this is Rebecca with Red True Crime. I'm gonna hop off here. But as I always say, be weird, be rude, be safe. If you're weird and rude, nobody will take you. I guarantee. And have a good night. Thank you for tuning in briefly. Bye bye.